We've shared the heavy stuff, but today we're bringing back the chaos and the laughter.
Here we are, our final October breast cancer episode. We've shared stories, tears, and lots of wisdom. Today we're going to end on a lighter note. I'm going to tell some funny stories from my journey and dive into the changes that I've made since being diagnosed. Because my cancer was mostly environmental, I've swapped out a lot of things in my life, and some of them might surprise you. There is a trigger warning, though. We're still going to be talking about cancer. This episode does lean more towards the encouragement and laughter side.
So we're going to start with everybody's most asked question. What were the healthy swaps, as they would put it? I think they were talking about like food and cookware. I think Shelby talked about laundry detergent, all the things that would come into that category. So we're going to start with that.
Okay, so first things first, I always heard my entire life deodorant was a huge factor in breast cancer. It has aluminum in it. Most deodorants have aluminum. And I just never thought anything about it. I just thought it would never happen to me. I have no family history. I'm good. I'm invincible almost is the attitude that I had. So deodorant was the number one thing that I changed. And I have used native deodorant for the last probably 2.5 years. I actually switched deodorant brands right before I was diagnosed. Ironically enough, I probably already had cancer and didn't know it. But I love the native brand. This is also not sponsored, but Native, if you want to sponsor us, we'll have you. I actually, in both bathrooms of our house, we have Native shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. We all three use it, and all three love it. Native shampoo is not heavy. It feels really clean. It gets my hair clean. I really love it. And the coconut vanilla scent is the only one that does not use like artificial fragrances, and it smells really clean, and it can be man or woman. It doesn't smell manly and it doesn't smell feminine. So that's my go-to. As far as laundry detergent, before I used Tide and those Downy Unstoppables and the Downy fabric softener and the Bounce dryer sheets, and all of this smells great and your laundry smells wonderful. But your laundry is on your skin and your skin is absorbing all of this, putting it into your bloodstream. And I didn't realize that before. So I switched. I did find a Tide. I can only get it at Target. It's called Tide Zero. And it has a lavender scent, which is like from the lavender essential oils. It's not a very strong lavender scent. It's just enough that our laundry doesn't smell fragrant, but it doesn't have that like musky, free and clear, I use nothing on my laundry scent. I didn't like that. I tried several free and clears before I found this one. It has just enough of a scent that they smell clean and fresh. And I love that. I do not use dryer sheets anymore. I use the wool balls instead. I took out all the candles, and I used to use those Airwick plugins. And I'm telling you, if I could go back in time and smell my house 3 years ago, it would probably give me a headache so fast because, I mean, then I was used to it though. I mean, I had those plugins. My house smelled so good and clean all the time, and I loved that. But I don't love it enough to have cancer again because of it. So I ditched all of those. I have diffusers in my house. Sometimes I'll diffuse essential oils if I want like that good, fresh smell, but it really, like, I have no scent in here. I don't know. It might smell bad to other people when they come in. Nobody says anything about it though. And I know my family definitely would not care to tell me if my house stunk. So I think it's okay.
So have you ever tried the Branch Basics laundry detergent?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
what did you think about that one?
To me, I did not feel like it got my clothes as clean as because now mine and Taylor's would probably be fine. Jordan works in a factory and his clothes are greasy. He comes home a lot, like he works on tools, and so he's got greasy clothes. And Tide was the only thing that I ever used that actually would cut that and work, and his clothes not look disgusting when they came out. So I was so excited to find the Tide Zero because it still works on all of those stains without the harsh chemicals that Tide has, like the regular Tide has. I think for mine and Taylor's clothes, though, it would be fine because we're not getting as nasty as he is. Cookware, I can't remember what brand I had when I was diagnosed, but anything that has the non-stick factor on it is going to have lots of things that you do not need in your body. And when you're cooking your food on it, it's seeping into your foods. Plastic spatulas and spoons and stuff is the number one. Like when you're heating that plastic up, it's leaking it out into your food, and then you're eating said food. That means the plastic is going into your body. I did not realize this until I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and I started like digging into the environmental side of things. So I switched to stainless steel cookware, which intimidated me so bad pre-cancer, but you just have to learn how to cook with it. I can cook scrambled eggs and they don't stick at all. Totally fine. You just have to learn how to do it. All of the plastic in my entire kitchen is gone. Occasionally people will give Taylor like a basket, you know, like a gift basket with a little plastic cup in it. And I do allow her, like, she'll still have those. I just don't put them in my dishwasher. I hand wash them, let it air dry, and then stick it up in the cabinet. But as far as like I said, spatulas and spoons, all of that's gone. All of my Tupperware is gone. I have glass, like leftover containers that I use. They have plastic lids, which I do not put in the dishwasher. I hand wash those. Same reason, because when it heats up in the dishwasher, all of that is then being slung on all of your other plates and forks and all the things, all your other dishes. That's the word. So I got rid of all of that. And I don't know, like I said in the last episode, I don't know if that has anything to do with my cancer or not, but it's not a risk that I'm willing to take. So that's just something that I changed. As far as food, I try to focus heavily on whole foods that come from the earth, meats, fruits, vegetables, things like that, butter. I still do cheese. I just try to limit my processed foods as much as possible. I know it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And like I mentioned, I love Reese's and I won't ever turn down a Reese's cup. And they are so processed that they basically could grow legs and walk away. But I mean, it's not realistic for me to say I will never eat anything that's processed at all. I just try to limit that. And I use real butter. I do not, which I quit using margarine years ago. I use only real butter. I can't tell you the last time I bought Country Crock or Blue Bonnet. I only do farm eggs. I buy all organic fruits and vegetables. If I can't get organic, I make sure, what do they call it? Like the Dirty Dozen or something?
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen.
The fruits and veggies. And so I have changed all of that. It is double the price to eat the way that we eat. But the way I look at it when Jordan starts complaining about the grocery bill is this money could go into our food or it's going to go into cancer treatment. So take your pick. And I don't want to live that life again. So I'm not saying that you should eat this way. I'm just saying this is what I do. I have a Costco membership and I am team Costco over Sam's all day, every day. It's like comparing Walmart and Target. I am a team Target. You probably can tell just by how bougie my lifestyle is. But Costco feels the same way to me. Costco has a ton of the organic, clean products that Sam's Club does not have. And that's why a lot of people are like, why do you like Costco so much more? And that's why, because they have the foods that we eat. So I think that's pretty much all that I swapped. I also would like to say, if you are looking to clean up your environment and your life, you have to take baby steps. You cannot go in all at once. And I didn't go in all at once. I started slow. And as some of my cleaning products would run out, I would replace it with the cleaner version. I did not go all at once because I would have had to take out a small loan, honestly, if I wanted to change everything that I changed all at one time. So it takes time, but you can do it.
Now we're going to talk about some of the funny moments that I think in the last episode, Shelby said that we were going to get to.
The first one that comes to mind, And I mentioned this in one of the other episodes, is like my nurses would tell me to find joy in the journey and to always find things to laugh about. Well, we did that. Like literally the first appointment. The appointment for my biopsy comes. And at this point, I had the mammogram and ultrasound. I knew things looked suspicious, but I did not know it was cancer yet. I kind of hoped that it wasn't, but kind of was just like, I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. So my appointment for my biopsy is on a Monday. And Sunday evening, Taylor and I both come down with the stomach virus. Okay, I started at the beginning. Like, I thought that maybe it was just my nerves. I started throwing up and was like, okay, it's probably just my nerves because I know this appointment's tomorrow. Well, then here she comes running into my bedroom, throwing up all down the hall. So I know, okay, she has it too. It's not her nerves because she didn't know anything was going on. At this point, only just a few people knew that anything was going on. So I texted my friend Stephanie, Deidre. They were the only two friends that knew anything was going on at this point. My mom and my mother-in-law, and I think Jordan's aunt, Tammy, maybe knew. And so I texted all of them and was like, y'all have got to pray for me because I did not want to cancel this appointment. Obviously didn't want to get the doctor sick with the stomach virus, but I was going. I didn't care if I had to take my puke bucket with me. I was going. And so that was very traumatic, I guess, because I couldn't stay out of the bathroom before, and I thought it was maybe my nerves, but everybody's prayers did what they needed to do, and I made it through the biopsy just fine.
Oh my word. I told her it wouldn't have been the worst thing because after she was done, she was like, the doctor was so rude but we didn't have any, what do you want to call it? Close calls or whatever. I said, well, I kind of wished you would have. Maybe it would have ruined her day too.
Yeah.
Maybe she needed a cleanup on aisle 5.
Straight to the face.
Yeah.
So that was one, like, in the moment, I was just like, why me? Why is this happening to me right now? But now it's funny. But I mean, it was not funny then, but there's a lot more details. I'm trying to keep it like light for the podcast, and I don't want to go into all of it. That makes it funnier, but I don't want to. I'm already so vulnerable talking about my cancer. I don't really want to talk about my bodily fluids on the podcast too. So the next one was when my hair started falling out. So we had been at Jordan's parents because it snowed horrifically. And the week before, I had an allergic reaction to my chemo treatment. I ended up in the ER. My throat and tongue had swollen up and I could barely breathe. And it was a very scary moment. And so the next week, it started snowing like a Tennessee blizzard is what we'll call it. It was several inches. And I think that we've talked about it on the podcast. It was Taylor's birthday and she had been praying, asking the Lord to send her birthday snow. And it was, I don't know, almost a foot of snow, if not more, that she got on her birthday. And I had treatment that week. I think her birthday was on a Monday and I had treatment on Thursday. So we went and stayed with them at their house. Their house is easier to access the main roads than mine. And so we went there just in case I had another reaction. And while we were there, my hair started coming out. And Emma was on the podcast and she talked about having talked to people that their hair came out. And it mats up so bad. I mean, I can't even describe it. It's just like, it's so tangled that if you try to brush it, it all just comes out in your brush. And so it started at that point and I knew that it had started coming out, but I did not want to lose my hair there with them, with like other people around. I just didn't want that. So I stopped washing it. I put it up in a bun. It was the most sad, pitiful bun. You could clearly see like it was so matted in there. I just tried not to touch my head until I got home. So once we get home we were there almost a week. And once we got home, I washed my hair and I would say probably 70% of it came out in the shower. And I kept it like that. It was thin, very, very thin on the top. I used my hand to like hold it into a ponytail, and there might have been like, I don't know, 100 hairs together. It was the most sad, pitiful little ponytail you've ever seen. But I did not want to cut it. I wanted to just ride it out. And a few days later, I was losing hair everywhere. It was so messy. It was so messy. This was the worst part, I think. And it was the worst idea to let it just be what it was. I should have just cut it from the very beginning, but I didn't want that. So I decided that it would help Taylor if she had part in cutting my hair, because that was my whole reasoning for letting it come out gradually, was so it would be gradual for her and not she sees me and then she sees me the next day and I'm completely bald. So I was like, okay, maybe this would help her if I let her cut this little rat tail. At this point is what I had in the back, my little ponytail. And maybe she would feel like she has a part in it. She would think that was fun, whatever. So I let her do it. And I have pictures of the rat tail that I'm going to put on Instagram because she snipped it and I get in the shower. Well, I went to bed that night, and when I woke up the next morning, I looked in the mirror and I laughed so hard because I looked just like Harry from Dumb and Dumber. He's the blonde one where his hair is kind of just like out and stringy, and it's not Jim Carrey, but the other guy. I forget what his name is. He is Harry. And that's exactly what I looked like. It was just like, it was the worst haircut you've ever seen in your life. And I think I needed that humor because then I literally walked from the mirror into the bathroom and got Jordan's clippers and shaved my head. Like, I just did it myself. I was so over it because it was so humiliating. But I didn't take a picture of it, and I wish I would have, because I'm telling you, it would just make your day. It was so funny. But I had to get rid of the hairy hairdo because it was awful. So Taylor watched me shave my head, and I think that doing it gradually like that was probably the best move for her, but it was horrific. It was awful. The worst haircut ever.
When I think of Shelby having cancer, and it's really not completely like Shelby having cancer, but when I think of one of the things that I bought her, that is, we talked about this in another episode, but if you're listening to this just because you're listening for the cancer episodes, I wanted to make Shelby laugh on her birthday. That was going to be right before she was going into the last half of her chemo treatment. It's going to be the hard treatment. So I don't remember exactly what I had planned. Oh, I do remember. Do you remember those? You'll see them on TikTok, like where it's a bunch of like African men or like Indian men, and they're wishing somebody a happy birthday and they're like dancing. Well, that was what I had originally planned that I was going to send Shelby for her birthday, something to make her laugh. Well, somebody texted me and said, have you ever seen these shirts? And I had seen these shirts. How do we describe this? It's a picture of your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and they're like they're posing to make themselves look like, I don't know, what do you want to say, Shelby? Yeah. So it's basically like to hype up your boyfriend or girlfriend, but you're wearing the shirt of them. Mm-hmm. So anyways, somebody had sent me this and was like, you should buy this for Shelby for like a funny joke. And I was like thinking, perfect. It's her birthday. I'm pivoting. We're going to do this. And I remember it was literally a week before her birthday, and I think I had it rushed. And we were about to go on the trip to 30A. I don't even remember what I told you about it. I think I was like, you're going to laugh. Poor Jordan. It was
you
at the expense of Jordan.
I'm sending you this and you're going to laugh. So tell somebody to record your reaction. That's all I knew.
Yeah. I didn't tell her it was at the expense of Jordan, but listen, at that point, I was like, he's just along for the ride. So I remember I'm sitting there and I'm going through Shelby's Facebook. I can't text her and say, hey, send me some photos of Jordan. That's weird. So I get on Facebook and start looking through all of her photos. And Derek goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to find the most attractive photos of Jordan that I can, that Shelby might find attractive. He goes, what? started laughing so hard. So then I'm like trying to tell him. He's not really understanding, but he's just like, whatever. So they are so funny, the ones that I picked.
And they're not, okay, let's be real. They're not even like, if you were doing this as a gift for somebody, you would, or if you're doing it for yourself, of your boyfriend, you're going to have a lot more attractive poses than what we had. Because I never just take a picture of Jordan or a selfie of me and him and think like, you know, oh, pose more attractive than that. Like, that's not good enough.
One of the photos, he's drinking a lemonade.
Yeah. He's drinking lemonade out of one of those swirly straws.
I don't know why she took this photo, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's going on the shirt. So anyways, I send her this. It's a sweatshirt. And I send it to her for her birthday. But I was like, it's something that you can wear on the trip. It's the gift that keeps giving. Well, when Jordan saw it, he thought Shelby's not wearing this. I don't know what he thought. But she said that he was like, you're not actually wearing this, are you? And she was like, yes. Oh, yeah. I was like, why did he think I was buying it? You weren't going to wear it. I wore it to the beach. I wore it down there. It was so funny. Anyways, when I think of our trip, that's one of the things that I think of is because Shelby wore that sweatshirt so much while we were there. Because we were just trying to laugh. And it, like I said, Jordan got the brunt of it, but he was a good sport about it. It was funny. And I was like, Jordan, I tried to do you right. I put pictures of you in your hat on there. I don't know what he thought about me saying that. He's used to the bald man comments. But he looked at me and goes, oh, okay, well, thanks. Like in a non-enthusiastic way. Just like, I'm looking through my photos right now to find, because I took a picture wearing the sweatshirt with him beside me, and he's making this horrible face like he hates his life. Listen, it was funny, but anyways, I found the picture, and there's one where he's propped on a table with like his index finger and thumb under his chin, and he's propped sitting, but it looks like he's posing that way on purpose. This is amazing. I love this. Yeah, it was so funny. But I just saw it in my closet the other day and was like, yes, it's almost cold. I can wear sweatshirts again. I'm getting it out. But it's funny because even Derek has said, like, when we look back at that 30-day trip, he's like, I don't think about like Shelby being horribly sick. Mm-mm. I mean, and she was. But so many like funny, good things happened on that trip that it almost like it overshadowed. Yeah. 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 All of the things that it was like, oh yeah, I remember the thing that really sticks out was that long, long walk to the beach. And all of us were like, oh no, like she's not going to be able to do this. We didn't want to all say it, but you could tell that we were all thinking it. Yeah, I think even the kids were like, are you okay? Can you do that? I'm like, guys, I'm okay. But I will say on the way back, I had to pee so bad. And how long do you think that pier was that we had to walk? Maybe half a mile? At least half a mile. And I had to pee so bad. And I was thinking like to the point I was almost in tears because I wanted to get there quickly, but my body wasn't able to move that quickly. And I was thinking like, if I start crying, they're going to think that I'm hurting or I'm sick, not that I just have to pee. So I just dealt with it the whole way there. Yeah, it was, we should also say, like, it was cooler. Uh-huh. Yeah, it was early March. Yeah, I think it was 72 that day. Mm-hmm. So we hadn't, like, gotten in the ocean or anything. And, yeah, we had a long way back. I remember her saying when she sat down, she's like, I'm not moving from here until it's time to go. Yeah. I don't think she did. No, I didn't. But it's things like that. It's almost like we forget that she was sick. Mm-hmm. Because another thing that I remember on that trip is that I came out of my room and I said, I didn't bring any hairpins. Do you have any? She goes, oh yeah, let me go get some for my hair that I don't have. And I was like, oh yeah. God. If I had $1 for every moment
through cancer that somebody asked me for bobby pins, I'm telling you, I would be rich. I would just retire right now. And I would make snarky comments. Like, I thought it was funny, but I would make people feel uncomfortable on purpose. My mom, and I could tell she felt so bad after she asked me one time. And she was like almost in tears. I thought it was hilarious, but she did not. And she felt horrible. She was like, do you have any bobby pins in your car? I'm like, I'm bald. I'm literally wearing a wig right now. No, I don't have bobby pins.
Well, I remember what I said was, I go, well, you just wore that thing in a bun yesterday. You're like, okay, you want these little flimsy bobby pins? Here you go. And you handed me one. Like, okay, never mind. Yeah. Never mind. I'm braiding it. I think that's what I said. I went back in the room, but it was really, that was really funny.
Yeah.
So like I said, there was definitely times that we were like remembering, but
mm-hmm. Well, and it all goes back to like us just trying to keep everything normal, almost like oblivious to the reality, but having a good time too, because I didn't want it. Anybody that knows me in real life, and I've said it even on the podcast, I'm pretty sure, like I do not like attention and I do not want things to be about me. I hate birthday parties where everybody's looking at me singing happy birthday. I'm telling you, I hate it. So I didn't want everything to be about me. We were using me as an excuse for all these trips, celebrating this and that and the other, but I didn't want it to be about me. And so I think it all goes back to that. We were just trying to be normal.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is how Stella got her groove back.
Who is Stella?
Oh, my Lord. I'm not that much older than you. The way that this note reads is how to get your groove back. How do you not know who Stella is?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. Who's Stella?
It's a movie.
I'm Googling
Pretty sure.
it. Well, it is a movie with Whoopi Goldberg.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
You know what year this came out? I was 5. And it's rated R. So, no.
I don't know. I've just heard people talk about it. I have no idea what it's about, to be honest. It could be about something horrible. I would have no idea.
Okay, so how did Stella get her groove back after treatment? I honestly feel like I don't even have my groove back, really. It took a long time for me to feel like a little shimmer of normal. And I think that I started feeling it once I accepted that my normal is going to be different than what my normal used to be. And I have to frequently remind myself, and I have to remind others sometimes, that I'm only a little over a year out after a very major surgery. And they put my surgery next to open heart surgery. And I have to remind myself frequently that I look normal, 32-year-old on the outside, but the inside, my body feels like it's 80 sometimes. And it's easy for me to get down on myself when Taylor's wanting to play and, you know, Jordan wants to go play pickleball in the afternoons, and I just feel really tired from my day. And it makes me feel lazy, but I have to remind myself what all I've come through. And while I look normal, I'm really not. And so getting my groove back after all the treatments would just like, it was baby steps. And some days I have all the energy and I'm doing all the things and I think like, okay, this is what it used to feel like. Like Stephanie talked about vacations and like being gone all the time and being busy. That's how my life was before cancer. And sometimes I still get emotional when I think, wow, this is what it used to be like. And you forget really, really fast what normal feels like. And so some days when I do have a normal day, it makes me emotional because I just feel really grateful that I have the chance to have normal back again. I don't know that I'll ever fully have my groove back like I had it before, but my new normal, I like my new normal.
I actually heard somebody just, I think it was like 2 days ago, and they were talking about a major life event. And they said, there was me in the moment before, and then there was me in the moment after. And I think that that's true for anything that's like a major life change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's you before, and then there's
mm-hmm.
you after.
Yeah.
So I think that other people too, especially when you're like really young and you've never experienced like a traumatic event, you're waiting for the normal to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point you kind of realize like,
It's not going to.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Well, and the best way I can describe it is like I said, in my body, I feel like an old lady. But when you get old, and I'm saying this like, I don't know because I haven't gotten old yet, but I would imagine all those changes happen over time. You know, you go from 60 to 80. You don't just wake up one day and you're 80 and you were 60 yesterday. And that's kind of how it is with cancer and cancer treatments. I felt like a normal 30-year-old, and then the next day I wake up and my body immediately feels like I'm 50. And then I wake up the next day and I feel like I'm 75. And it just happens so fast. So you can't gradually get used to that. And so I keep waiting on the bounce back. And I finally came to terms that the bounce back is probably not going to happen because my heart has been through a lot. Chemo is really, really hard on your heart. I had 24 radiation treatments, and they shot the radiation on my left side was my cancer side. And the radiation hits all around my heart, my lungs, like all of that was impacted. And chemo is killing every cell in your body. That's why you lose your hair and your nails are very brittle. Your skin is very tender. And I mean, all of those are cells. And so all of that is impacted over the course of 6.5 months. And then you have a major surgery. Like I said, it's right there with open heart surgery. And like, I have to come to the realization that that's a lot on even a young person. That's a lot to come back from. So I probably won't ever bounce back to what I was before, but I do feel now like the further out I get, the more normal I feel. And I think that's just me accepting that this is my new normal, but I don't know. I just feel like if you could do it gradually, it maybe would be easier than just waking up one day like, bam, you're an old lady now. Here you go.
Yeah, I think that there's probably a lot of people that can relate to that. Even like if you've got like autoimmunes, which Shelby did have that before.
Yep.
She had cancer. You know, you hear people talk about like, I feel like an old lady in a young person body. So I think there's probably a lot of people that can relate to that feeling like, what's normal? You know, like when am I going to feel normal again? And having to accept that. That's hard.
Yeah. And normal for you is going to look different than normal for me. And I think that is a hard pill to swallow when I have several friends that have zero health problems at all. They don't have autoimmune. They have never had anything like cancer or anything big like that. But what's normal for you and what's normal for me are going to look different. And it's hard. I have to remind Jordan that all the time. Like, you have the energy and ability to do these things, but I have to go slower. And it's not that I'm lazy, because I'm not. I never have been lazy. But I feel like I have to be more lazy now. And it's hard. Like, I get down on myself a lot. I feel like I should be doing more than I am. And that's tough. It's tough to do that because I always was a go-getter before, and I can't do that as much now. With all this said, on the other side of cancer, survivorship is very, very tricky, and every day looks different. Some days I am trying to not think about the sudden aches that I have and thinking, oh no, my cancer is back. Some days I am, well, really every day, I'm very thankful and grateful for a second chance at life. But some days it just hits me harder than others, where I think like, wow, I am so blessed to be able to be doing this right now with my family. Or, you know, I think on Emma's episode, we talked about being able to cook dinner for your family again. It's just like the little things. You find so much more joy in the little things than you did before. You're not sweating as much. My problems that I had before that seemed so big are now like, really? Why was I stressing out over that? Like, that's not even a big deal. But every day looks different. And I just am so thankful for another shot at life. And I'm thankful for everybody that helped to pray me through that, because I know that if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be here. And I'm thankful for everybody that was in my corner. Like, you really find out who cares about you and loves you when you're faced with something like that. And I hate that it had to come to that, but I just was blown away by the number of people that reached out. Even if they didn't reach out to me directly, they might ask my friends or my family, send me cards and gifts. And my friends put together an auction for me to raise money to go towards treatment costs. And it just, every day was so blown away. I didn't feel worthy. I'm trying not to cry, and my throat's like clogging up because of this sinus junk. I didn't feel worthy or deserving of any of it, and I still don't. But I'm thankful, and I don't ever want to lose that. So find joy and hope and love in the small things. Don't sweat the big things, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. That's the best advice that I have to give to anybody. I want to thank everybody for being part of our journey this month. Sharing our stories is about more than looking back. It's about giving hope to anybody that might be walking through this now. I know this was heavy, and it was a lot of vulnerability on my part and Emma's part and even Stephanie's part, telling like from the friend side. But I thank everybody for listening and hanging in there. I didn't really know how to feel about sharing my story, but I've got a lot of positive feedback on it, and our numbers skyrocketed. I was afraid that I would run people away, but I hope that what we did, and we didn't do it to say, look at us, look what we did. It was more to raise awareness, to make sure that everybody does their checks and advocates for themselves. And I think that maybe we got that point across.
Yes, so whether you're a survivor, a supporter, or just somebody that was here listening to learn, I hope that you at least took away, like Shelby said, to do your self-checks and to go to your appointments. I think that should be the biggest takeaway, because Emma and Shelby were both in their, well, Emma was in her 20s, right?
Mm-hmm, she was.
It can happen to anybody at any stage. So thanks for listening, but this is concluding the Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Come back next week for a chit-chat episode of what all has unraveled while we've been preparing this month's episodes for you. You're not even going to believe it, so come back.
It's going to be like one of those infomercials, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, actually, I think that's going to be the title of the episode, so come back next Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time on all of your favorite podcast platforms.